I'm going to tell you this story of how I manifested a 117% return on this one particular investment. The most important part, I want to be very, very clear. First of all, this is not financial advice. You already missed this jump. So, you investing in this thing will not manifest you this money if you use the stock. It is not about the how ever. The important part, this is what I teach, is the core of the process through which I manifested this. You can also apply this process to your life and have your universe unlocked. The universe is unlocked for me. I decided to share this story now because it's actually happening again. I'm putting everything in the experiment like I did for this story. Everything was documented real time inside of my membership, The Experiment, where I leave daily trainings and there's a high vibe community. So if you want to be a part of the next big jump, now's the time to join the experiment. So let's go back to March 2024. In March 2024, I was launching something called the Sleep Your Way to Wealth Challenge. SLEEP is my basic manifestation process. I was launching this live and I thought, what would be a good incentive for people to take this live? So I thought, oh, why don't I make a Synchronicities masterclass? I'm always being asked about synchronicities and I think it would be a good time to teach it. I thought I was just gonna write up a few things, film the masterclass. It would be a pretty quick process, definitely within a day, just a few hour kind of thing. It took me a month. I tried to find science on it, and it was really challenging. There was no one who had really married the information in a way that made sense to me. And so it took me a month to create this masterclass. And throughout making this masterclass, I learned how to use synchronicities. I realized I didn't really know how to use them before. I didn't really understand them. I used to not really pay attention to angel numbers because they didn't resonate with me. Like, okay, so what? It's 11:11. Like, it's always 11:11 twice a day. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Like, yeah, it's 11:11, but what do I do with that? And after this masterclass, a lot of my universe unlocked. I learned how to use synchronicities in a new way to literally have a direct line of communication to the divine guidance in the universe. The quantum field has all information of all time. Consciousness has all information of all time. We have consciousness within us. We always have access to this information. It was just a matter of being able to communicate and receive and process the information in a way that our brains can understand. It's like if you aren't a coder and you stare at computer code, you have no idea what it says, right? You need the interface of the computer to show you what a website looks like, or you need the little icons. You need the digital pictures to show up instead of just the code of what the picture is, right? Because we need that transformation of the code into something usable, which is what our brain does, transforming the code of the universe into something usable in our lives. Synchronicities were unlocked for me. I could use synchronicities like crazy now. I had things happen so instantly. Like, I would think of something I want to manifest and instantly it appeared, like crazy. And this is one of those stories that I'm going to share with you. So that was in March. Fast forward to May 2024. I wanted to manifest money, as one does all the time, right? And I was sitting with my husband at the time and we were laying in bed looking at the stock market on his phone. And this is not something we did, like, ever. I don't remember what stock we were looking at, but there was an obvious like peak and then like a dip and then like it went up. And I remember I said out loud, "Oh, I wish I invested there. Like, that would be amazing." Obviously, right? When you look at a graph of a stock, it's easy to see in hindsight where you should have invested, but it's hard in the moment because you're not always sure if it's going to go back up at that dip. And I said out loud, "Oh, I wish I invested there." And then we looked at Tesla stock. For some reason, we clicked on Tesla stock. Again, looking at stock charts in bed is not something we did. This was like the first time ever, maybe. And so we're looking at this Tesla chart, and I was like, I remember texting my dad in 2017. For some reason, I just had this feeling Tesla was going to be a great investment. And I don't remember, I either read a news article or something like that. It was like I had logical reasoning, but I wasn't super, super educated and I knew that. So I texted my dad and I said, should I invest in Tesla? And he said, no. And I said, okay. And I did not invest. And what do you know happened? Right after that, Tesla like shot up. Like if I had invested, I would have definitely doubled my money back then. And so then we were looking at Tesla's chart, and Tesla had like it peaked and then it went down. And that's where it ended, May 2024. That's where it was at the time. It had peaked and then it had gone down. Like I said, no one knows if it's going to go up again. But I had literally 1 second ago said, oh, I wish I invested at this spot. Like 1 second later, I see the dip in Tesla. Oh, like, I wonder if Tesla's going down. But then I thought maybe this dip is the time to invest. But it was just a fleeting thought. I think we looked at a few other charts and then went to bed. So, this is something I'm constantly sharing in the experiment. What I want to point out here is one way I use synchronicities is they're very, very literal. I told the universe, I am stupid. Look, I'm a doubter. I'm sorry, but you made me that way. So I am not going to notice if it's a synchronicity unless you make it so obvious I can't ignore. And you need to say it in plain English. That's what I told the universe, okay, when I went to use synchronicities. And so now, when synchronicities are meant for me to follow, they're almost always very literal and in plain English, like my own self saying, oh, I wish I invested at this dip, and then the next chart showing a massive dip, right? Oh, I wonder if I should invest. It's very, very literal. Fast forward to the next day. My husband would play this game on his phone and he called me over just excited about his game. And he's like, look, I unlocked this character. And it's really rare to unlock characters, I guess. Okay. And he shows me on his phone and he's like, oh, look how powerful he is. Just excited he unlocked this powerful character for free because usually you have to pay. Guess what that guy's name was? Tesla. Interesting. This was like right before I went grocery shopping. I drive to the grocery store. The grocery store is like a 3-minute drive, if that. I saw at least one white Tesla driving, but I don't remember if it was more because when I saw the white Tesla, I remember thinking, oh my God, I've been seeing Teslas everywhere. And again, it's a very short drive. And then I go to the grocery store. By the grocery store, there'd been this construction site and I'd been paying attention to this construction site. I never look at construction sites. Okay, never. They're boring to me, don't care. I had been paying attention to this construction site. I really got into permaculture. I loved hunting for plants in the wild, and I was pretty sure one of these plants by our grocery store was an elderberry tree. And I was like, oh, if there's overgrown elderberry trees, I would want to take a cutting so then I can just plant it in our yard. And so ever since like March, I'd been looking at this construction site because when everything looks like sticks, like before stuff really grows in, it was hard to tell like, okay, what's elderberry and what's just a random stick. Like everything was dead. And so as the weather had been warming up, I'd been eyeing these plants near this construction site to be like, which one's the elderberry? So maybe I can take a cutting. Construction is annoying because it's in my way. Like, oh my God, this construction's here. Are they going to cut down the elderberry? I would never have noticed the construction site except I was obsessed with this elderberry tree. Okay. That day, the construction now suddenly had signs. And the thing they were building was Tesla charging stations. Of all things they could have been putting near my grocery store, it had been a Tesla charging station. And this one day, when all of these Tesla signs come in, is the day they put up the Tesla signs. So I know what it is. This was getting too crazy to ignore. Now I had all of these signs and I knew, oh my God, like I'm supposed to invest in Tesla. I had out loud said, oh, I wish I invested at that dip. And I saw Tesla dip. The problem with stocks, of course, is you don't know if it's going to go back up. That might just be a dip forever. It might just plateau at that. Nobody knows. So normally I would never look at the stock and be like, oh, nah, oh, it went down. Now's the time to buy. Of course, you want to buy low, sell high. The problem is you just don't know if it's going to go back up. And I do not invest in companies. I do have a few stocks in companies for full transparency, but pretty much all of my investments just go in like ETFs. No, I pretty much never, ever, ever invest in just singular companies because they're just a higher risk I'm just not interested in managing. But now I'm like, wait. So I literally told myself I need to buy at the dip. I see Tesla cars, the Tesla charging station, the Tesla character. And then I thought of that one time back in 2017 when my dad told me not to invest, and I always regretted not investing. Oh my God, I just spilled water everywhere and I had to clean it up. The clear message to me was like, invest in Tesla right now. And there's this weird moment. We all want clarity from the universe. We all want to know exactly what we're supposed to do. We all want clear instruction. But what nobody talks about is when the instruction is something really weird and unexpected and scary. And it's like, okay, like these signs are pretty clear, but am I really supposed to just put money in Tesla right now? Like, what a, not that that's so crazy. Like, there's definitely crazier actions, but it's one of those things like, wait, so I'm just supposed to take action now just based off these hunches, just based off seeing a few Tesla cars and a video game character. I'm supposed to like put my actual hard-earned money inside of this stock. Like it feels so crazy to do that, right? I'm kind of like, okay, like I have to invest now. Like I have to do it. And I teach people, I made the Synchronicities masterclass. Like I teach people how to use Synchronicities. And I started my membership, The Experiment, to teach people experiment with life. Like the only way you're going to know how to trust your intuition is if you act on your intuition. So I'm like, well, I can't be a fraud. Like I have these synchronicities. The universe told me what to do. I have to act on it. And then I'm like, what if it doesn't work though? Like, like what if it doesn't work? Like I have fears, I have doubts like a normal person, even though I teach this stuff and I know how it works. I went to the experiment and I told them, guys, this is a real time synchronicity. I don't know how this story is going to end. I have no idea how this story is going to end, but here's a real time synchronicity and here's how I'm processing it. And I'll give you guys an update when it happens. So I told them all of the synchronicities I was having. I left a training inside of the experiment and I'm like, this feels crazy to invest off this, but I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I teach you guys this process. When you feel a desire and get the guidance, you have to take action. If you don't take action, nothing changes. I could get all these synchronicities and be like, oh my God, I should invest. But if I don't invest, my life's not going to change. I have to actually co create with the universe and take the action and not be afraid. Even if I am afraid, take the action anyway. I told the experiment about the synchronicities I had, but I made it clear at the end. The point of me telling you this is to show you who I am vibrationally. I'm a person who is going to take action on my desires. The point is not controlling the external world. I'm not going to be sad if this investment doesn't come through. Will it come through? I don't know. I have no idea what the outcome is going to be, but it doesn't matter. I don't need to control the outcome. That's not the point. The point is receiving the information and taking action on it. You only need to know your next best step. You only need to know the next one thing. Your only job is to take the action. The universe's job is to handle the results. So, do I want to lose money? No. Do I want to make smart investments that give me a return? Yes. But I did not know at this point how it was going to happen. And I almost didn't leave a training for the experiment. I mean, I was way too excited. So, I did leave a training and way too hyped up. And I knew the real time synchronicity training was extremely valuable. But the point was not to control the outcome. I didn't know the outcome. The point was to show them, hey, when I have a synchronicity, these are the feelings and emotions that come up for me. And I'm terrified and I'm going to take action anyway. Maybe Tesla will tank and die. And I'll come on here and be like, guys, my investment totally failed. But it doesn't matter either way because I'm a person who experiments. I'm a person who has the faith. I'm a person who takes action on my desire. I firmly believe every single thing is working out for me. So if I got this guidance and then Tesla didn't go up, well, oh well, because it's not my job to make it go up. Like it must have tanked for a reason, right? If it tanks for a reason. If Tesla goes bankrupt and then my whole stock dies and goes to zero, well, I got this guidance for a reason. The outcome may not be the thing I think I want, that the stock shoots up, but that's not the point. It's just for me to take action. And that's why this works out for me, because I have faith. I built the faith through science. I teach you guys everything I know. I walk you through the process. This is what all of my programs are about. This is what I teach you guys to do. Take the scary action. So I invest. Okay, I did the thing. Now it's in the universe's hands. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then I never really thought about it. I didn't It's in the universe's hands. It's not up to me to control or micromanage or anything. So I barely looked at my investment again. I kind of forgot about it until I get a text from my husband in July, and the text just says, check Tesla stock right now. Guess what? It had gone up 47%. If you don't follow the stock market, that's an insane return. For context, the entire stock market typically goes up around 10% on average every year. Some years it might go up 20, and then the next year down 20, and then the next year up 30, and the next year down 5. Every year is different, but on average it goes up 10%. So for one stock in 2 months to shoot up 47%, that's already like an established company. That's kind of wild, okay? And I was so happy. I was like, "Oh my god, like the synchronicity was right," because it also jumped. It wasn't like a steady growth over time and 5 years later I'm like, "Oh, what a good investment." In just a few months, like it basically just shot up. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting." Well, I didn't know in July that Donald Trump was going to win the election and Elon Musk was going to be his right-hand man and essentially run our country from the inside. I didn't know that. No one knew that. And what happened after that news broke? Tesla stock jumped up again. So now, from my initial investment back in May, where I got this guidance like, you should invest now my investment is up 93%. That is almost double. I almost doubled my money. Fast forward to December 2024. So for 3 months, I had been traveling around Asia at the end of 2024, and my trip was ending. My flight home was December 18th, 2024. Well, guess what? I go, I check my net worth, I check my investments. Tesla hit an all time high, and my initial investment had grown 173%. 173% from my initial investment. That's so insane. That is so much money. I started this video called How I Grew My Investment to 117% because since then, the market has corrected itself, and now where Tesla's sitting, it's at 117% growth rate from the moment I invested. So it did go back down a little. Personally, I think we haven't seen its all-time high yet, but who cares? Who knows? That's pure speculation. That was not divine guidance that told me that. I just still have my money in Tesla, and I'm excited to see where the rest of this story goes. I could pull out tomorrow. Who knows? So this is not financial advice. I am not saying to invest in this stock, but I wanted to share this process so you can see what synchronicities look like for me, how I navigate them, and how I told the experiment what's happening real time. I told them my first synchronicity and said, "Oh my god, this feels crazy, but I'm investing the money." And then when Tesla shot up the first time, I'm like, "Oh my god, I had this random jump." And then it kept growing and growing and growing. So yeah, I invested at a great time. Of course, the best time to invest would have been 2017 when I first asked my dad, but I needed that experience of regret so that I would actually take the action this time. Without that regret, I never would have taken the action this time. Every single thing, even though I missed an opportunity back then, every single thing is working for me. That only added to me taking an action because I thought, I don't want to have that regret again. I don't want to look at this and say, "Oh, I should invest in Tesla." No, I'm not going to because it feels too scary and then live with regret. I have another synchronicity that I just had, a repeat of this whole investment thing with something else. It's much riskier. Personally, I also have a hunch it's going to have a much higher return, but I don't know. At this time of filming, which is January 2025, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know the synchronicities I had, and I know the action I took, which is I just invested in this other thing. I outline it all in the experiment. After I know how the story ends, I'll come back on YouTube and make another video. But for now, I'm going to be documenting everything in the experiment. And I also just left another note saying the point isn't to, I'm not telling you to invest. In fact, I said over and over and over again, like, this is a very high risk. The point isn't so I'm telling you where to put your money. The point is so I'm walking you through real time the process I go through. So when you have synchronicities occur, you understand what to do, but you also have the bravery to take the action. It's the people don't take the action. That's why people see regular results in their life, like a regular job in a regular house, always feeling like they're a little bit behind because they aren't willing to take the action that's going to get them ahead and separate them from the masses. The action takers are the people who make big changes in this world and have wild and crazy results. And then you look at them like, oh, I could never do that. Those results are too big. Actually, if you ask for it, the universe will give you guidance. It's just your job to listen to it and, most importantly, take action on it. This is what it's like when I'm launching a course right now called Unlock the Universe. We start our live round soon, and I know my universe is unlocked because when I'm manifesting something, now I feel in my body the energy nuances and I know when it's a go. And I felt another go. I haven't felt another investment go this big since this Tesla thing, and it worked out. And I just have a hunch this one's bigger. But I told the experiment it's not about the outcome. It's not my job to control the outcome. I might be having this go feeling it could be wrong. I could be misreading the signs. It could be that I'm learning it for a different reason. Like maybe I'm not gonna get the return. Maybe I'm learning it for a different reason. Like I don't know, but I'm gonna walk you guys through the steps real time inside of the experiment. And more importantly, the experiments, I tell you my experiments that I'm doing. I support you through your experiments. But in Unlock the Universe, I teach you this fine tuning. I walk you through what do you do. It's a 6-week live program where we do this coaching and I hand you the keys to master your universe. The course is $2,222. It's an investment, not nearly as high of an investment as I randomly put into Tesla, but it's an investment and it's well worth it. I mastered how to unlock my universe. So anytime I desire anything, I just put that information out into the universe and then I act when I receive guidance. That's what I do every single time. If you want true mastery, you don't want to just follow along and see, and you want true mastery of your universe, join Unlock the Universe. It's an investment that will pay off more than any stock ever could. A stock investment has some kind of cap, right? Like a 2x investment in the stock market's really great. That's really, really great, which is like 100% return, right? That's a really excellent return. In real life, you can get even higher returns by investing in yourself every single time because those pay off 1,000x over a lifetime. I teach you how to master your universe. So if you invest $2,000 in a course, over a lifetime of mastering your universe, not only can you have an unlimited monetary ROI because you learn that money is fake and just part of space time and you can literally create as much money as you want, but I teach you how to master your universe. Like, do you understand how powerful that is? Like, you're limitless. You can have any career. You can make money any way. You can do anything you want. I teach you in my 6-week live program, and then I give you 6 months free in the experiment. The universe requires leaps of faith. If I didn't take the action and have the faith in the universe, I would not have gotten the results. The universe requires leaps of faith. And so if you are actually committed to achieving your results, join Unlock the Universe and you will have an unlimited ROI on your investment because you are mastering your simulation. I'm going to have a YouTube video up every Wednesday. I'm committing to it now. And then every Thursday, I go live on TikTok at 12 p.m. Eastern. So I recommend setting alerts on YouTube so you can watch the video, and then on TikTok we will talk about the results the next day. I think that would be a fun plan. We'll talk about the things in the video. I'll answer questions you have. You can always pop in the comments, but it's you guys know it's a totally different vibe when you're live and I can answer your questions real time. Subscribe, follow on socials, join Unlock the Universe. You don't have that much time. Join the experiment. join TikTok live Thursday at noon, every Thursday at noon, and come back for next week's video. Bye.